Lock position. You're a blue Terran. Mr. Polt himself. That's not Polt.
It was totally on TaeJa's base at first.
Oh, it was?
Yeah, it's okay.
No, that's fine.
It's okay.
I like to challenge the production crew.
just bring it out on the fly. So I guess that, of course, was yeah. We're gonna see which base it looks at.
Ball's in your court now, bro.
We redo it, man. It looks like the camera is on our red Terran player. But yeah, this has been a pretty exciting series to see so far. In the left spawn of Catalina, the red Terran representing Team Liquid. Give it up for TaeJa.
Picture twice.
Hey, man.
That's okay. We'll see Polt as well. There's Polt. You can see him.
You just do like the quick cut to his face and back out, man.
Oh, it's right there. There's Polt.
Yeah, there's Polt. Hi.
Emperor Polt. I love the jacket, the high collar. Very baller.
Yeah.
There he is, Polt.
Wins in style. And speaking of styles, both players have opened up gas first. Nice to see so many people starting to fill in here at the Starcraft stage. It's awesome to have all of you folk here. Hopefully you've been enjoying this series. It's really come down to the wire. We're in the lower bracket, and it's important to emphasize that because we still have the winner bracket match left where the loser won't be eliminated. But this is it. This is do or die. One map on arguably one of the most difficult maps to play TVT on because it's just great for drop play, banshee play. It's hard to defend early aggression, and that's why both players are going gas first.
Okay. It's interesting when Terrans recognize a map as really tough for TVT. Because otherwise they're like, for some reason I really like Catalina and all the other matchups. It's like, I wonder why. Yeah. But it is going to be gas first for both of them, as you said. So has TaeJa done this series? I can't remember if he did gas first. I think he did the first game, right?
We saw it on Nimbus as well.
Okay.
It's funny because gas first builds are, like, it's all about how much you want to get out of it. Like, Polt against other players, like, not quite as much against TaeJa, has gone for like a really fast reactor after one Marine. Some players are brave enough to get it after no Marines. He actually had enough gas to just go straight factory reactor. But you don't want to expose yourself to risks against things like Reaper play. And I think about players like Jokchi, and if he played against Polt, if Polt went for like really fast reactors every game in this series, like he might even be brave enough to do like some sort of aggressive Reaper play because that's the kind of stuff that can catch you off guard. The other side of the coin is that if your aggression doesn't work, you pretty much instantly lose the game because Hellions are good units.
Interesting. And TaeJa hasn't found that weakness because Polt's always done the due diligence of making the 2 Marines, I feel, right before the reactor.
He's not left himself too vulnerable, but there's no second guess. So it looks like it's going to be a mostly Hellion, Medevac Marine opening style. It will be a Widow Mine to follow up for TaeJa, though.
Now, I guess that is going to be aggressive because that's just kind of the name of the game here. But I also like, there was a time where a lot of Terrans were doing this kind of opening, knowing their opponent was, and they'd go Widow Mine and defend. They'd like even build a Viking before a Medevac, that kind of thing, and just eat up the other guy's Medevac aggression.
Yeah, Widow Mine drops. Like it's not uncommon to go for this kind of play on ladder, and it's not the most committed push. You keep your Hellions at home or what have you, and then it becomes defend the mine drop while doing the mine drop. And funnily enough, the most difficult part of that is when the mine goes off a second time, and we actually saw that on merry-go-round because you're distracted by trying to kill off all of those Marines. Now, TaeJa follows this up with a Viking. He recognizes that he needs to be able to defend against a Banshee, and 2 Medevacs passing the night.
They do see each other. Hello. Hello. And it is going to be Polt that comes back, and I think, again, I feel like that favors TaeJa, right? Because he's got the kind of more inexpensive attack that's not going to be followed up, so he's okay with all the attention being on this, I feel.
I mean, it doesn't really give an edge to either player since neither of them have really tried to expand or go for siege tanks. Those are generally the biggest playmakers. Polt still has the opportunity to get aggressive, though, because TaeJa's now adding on a reactor and a tech lab. He's no longer building units, he's just getting Vikings. Polt still does this thing where he gets the second Medevac, though, so he will have more aggressive forces, but that doesn't mean that TaeJa won't have anything at all. He actually runs this Medevac in now, and he's still going to try to complicate things.
He's in the main. He tried to set up a cool trap with the Widow Mine, but it actually whiffs. Meanwhile, the Marines are already killing SCVs. The Hellion dies in the background as well. TaeJa's going to relocate as 2 Marines come out. Now, it's all about the double Medevac drop coming in here. Can Polt equalize? There's a Viking, a few Hellions, but there's no Medevacs here. TaeJa's in a lot of trouble, I feel. He does get one of the Medevacs.
Really important to kill the Medevacs. These Marines are going to have a field day with the SCVs, and he leaves one up, lands one. Great decision from TaeJa to allow himself to actually be able to kill this off, but both players have lost a significant number of SCVs. TaeJa, though, not taking too much from his opponent. Now he's actually getting quite a bit done as his drop returns to Polt's mineral line, and you know, both players are just brutalizing each other at this point.
Brutalizing is the word. TaeJa has a 1 harvester advantage at 15. Meanwhile, his opponent's just at 14. Both players racking up the kills, 14 for Polt and 12 for TaeJa. The drop on the flip side of the map will end up actually getting cleaned up, and they've both kind of reset. TaeJa with maybe a slight advantage, I guess. They both have same tech. Well, actually, even on that note, TaeJa's got a couple add-ons more, right?
Yeah, the thing is, TaeJa did, we were talking about why he didn't have as many units. He squeezed out that tech lab and the reactor as well. So getting the marine production up is nice, but that siege tank play.
Wow.
Hellions are not known for being great versus tanks. He still has this Widow Mine, which almost clips a Viking. And that could have been a really awkward accidental base race or something like that, man.
Yeah, the Vikings are getting pushed into the Widow Mine. Is it going to get shot off? Actually, it's just, it looks like it's in range.
Yeah, it's just barely out of the range. So that's actually a bit unfortunate as TaeJa's forces get caught off. There's a superior marine count here for Polt. He's actually trying to target fire down the marines with his tank, but Polt catching this and killing it is quite nice for him. At the same time, TaeJa's actually switching now that he's killed most of the Viking play into Banshees again. 2 Hellions trying to cross the map. Shouldn't be able to do much with this wall here, but there is a Viking for Polt. He has a scan available, and he's still building Marine. So I don't think he's in too much trouble. If he can dodge the first scan and then maybe get to the natural expansion, he's still got a lot that he can work with.
What if he drops a mule? He just dropped a mule. He has no form of energy. He's swapping the starport, so he'll have a Raven in a second, but for right now he has no scan. And the Banshee's going to come in. Yes, there's 2 Vikings, but no way to see what is invisible.
He just does need to get that Banshee over there, though. He's got quite a bit of time now. He's waiting for Cloak. Okay, so it's not done quite yet. Smart play. TaeJa's finished his natural, and he's taken the less, you know, those Hellions could have delayed it if he had built it on the low ground, but now he has his command center done.
Here it comes.
It's almost, you know, it's almost halfway for Polt, but this Banshee gets in, and you said it, no scan.
No scan.
And he's not even building a Raven. He's just building a Banshee. I think TaeJa's going to get pretty much game-ending damage done just from this Banshee. He wants to move on and eliminate Polt. SCVs are going wild, just running away. And yeah, Polt's going to have this Banshee come out and have Cloak on the way, but TaeJa has a Raven in production. He's already recognized what he needs to defend any potential follow-up of Polt. Another Banshee comes in, cloaks. There'll be enough energy for a scan in a second. He needs to kill both Banshees with this one scan.
He almost can. Right here, the Marines are going into position. There's the scan. He shoots 1 Banshee down. Second Banshee just gets outside the detection, and that means it's going to be free to do even more damage.
Could delay. Okay, doesn't get to actually delay the command center from finishing, so Polt can try to squeeze out an orbital, get more energy. He has a missile turret incoming, but his SCV count is super low, just dropping down now to 10 SCVs, now 9 against 28 of TaeJa, who, by the way, is now mining from his natural. The Banshee rolls in for Polt into TaeJa's main base. He's going to delay this missile turret a little bit, but there's a Raven here, so at the very least, he can push this back, especially once this Viking finishes.
Yeah, gets a little bit of return fire, and Polt, he knows he's got nowhere to go, so he's going to do what he can with the Raven and Viking chasing it off. It just did not get the damage it needed. It even dies to add insult to injury. 23 supply advantage for TaeJa, and that's only going to grow. The fact that he has so many harvesters, and as you point out, is already mining from his natural, means that Polt's stuck in the Stone Age. Meanwhile, TaeJa's closing in on buying a condominium in the future age, man. He's going to have floating dogs.
Yeah, I mean, TaeJa's just like, can I invest these into some sort of portfolio for that series against Life later? I could probably use a couple of extra resources here. He's going into medevac production, stims coming in, and I really think in this series, man, we've just gotten to see TaeJa handle that early aggressive play and Polt crumble. That's been his weakness in TVT all year, man. The meta switch into aggressive Terran versus Terran has probably hurt Polt more than most other TVTers out there.
Yep, and here comes the TaeJa parade. I don't see what could possibly stop this force. Over in Polt land, he's got a tank coming out, but it's probably even going to be a little bit late. The drop goes in here. It's aided by a Raven that has the energy, and Polt, you fought a good battle, buddy. You made it far. You made it in the top 6, but it looks like TaeJa has a date with Destiny. He's going to push forward. Meanwhile, in the background, a Banshee doing absolutely nothing. Polt, he's been checkmated here.
Yep, the forces come up. He's got the medevacs to keep these Marines alive even longer. He's going to drop auto turrets. He could even secret missile these Marines for fun if he wants. TaeJa cleaning up the last remaining forces of Polt, getting in that mineral line. SCV's dropping. He's got Marines in the natural expansion at the same time, and it just doesn't really look like there's too much for him. Polt's bought himself a little bit of space with this Banshee, but he still doesn't really have anything to actually kill the army that's in his base.
No, he's got 5 kills down there. He's doing what he can. Meanwhile, Marines of TaeJa inside the natural, shutting that down, that supply differential. Yeah, it's up to like 30 or 40 now. Here comes Bull. He's going to make a final push with a tank on sieges. He's going to try. TaeJa holds. The medevac heals. And everything on Polt land is dying. The final tank will die here as well. GG is called out, and TaeJa survives Polt.
A great series played by TaeJa. You know you're in a bad spot when pulling the boys means grabbing 6 SCVs to fight tanks with. And TaeJa is going to continue his DreamHack run. Definitely given one of the biggest runs for his money he's had in the bracket stage, though.
Absolutely. I mean, he did suffer a couple losses, but those were to Zergs. He's looked untouchable elsewhere. Polt showed that untouchable is not going to describe it. It was a good series, very close, and a lot of fun TVT-wise.